Hello, my loves, and welcome back to the Can't Stop Talking podcast. I am extra excited for today's podcast because we have my client here, Maria, and she actually manifested being on this podcast, which is insane. But I'm so excited to have you. She's going to tell us all about what she's manifested in the membership. It is crazy. And I'm just so happy to have you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, my love.
Oh, I'm just so incredibly grateful to be here. And yeah, just like Sam said, I totally manifested being here today. And I didn't even know, like back in the day, I was just listening to her podcast because obviously. And I remember being so like inspired and lit up in my heart. And I was like, oh my God, like I just want someone to listen to me speaking on this podcast with her and like igniting our forces together and feel like anything is possible for them. And like, yeah, like I didn't even think I was manifesting that, consciously, but I did. And yeah, I couldn't be more grateful. So yeah, I'm Maria. I am originally from Cyprus and I live in London, and I'm a performer and life coach for performers, guiding them into love, self-love and empowerment. And I came across Sam to build my own coaching business, and yeah, the rest is history. I'm just a completely transformed human and coach and just being in this world.
You're incredible, and I'm so happy to have you. And it's just crazy that you are literally across the world from me. Like, that's my favorite part about our businesses. But I love it because I messaged you and I was like, do you want to be on the podcast? And you were like, I literally manifested this. And I was like, you are getting so good at this manifestation. So please tell us, what did you manifest in the membership? Because I know it's going to help so many people.
Yeah, of course. So in the membership, I've manifested, well, first and foremost, my first paid job as a coach, as like a workshop facilitator, um, which was just insane. Like it happened so out of nowhere. So like when Sam says, you don't have to know the how, this is what she means. Like I was just manifesting, my first coaching job, and I didn't know. I thought it was one-to-one clients, but it wasn't. It didn't turn up to be what I thought I was manifesting, which is where it gets really interesting. And then yeah, this magical aligned job came out of nowhere. What else have I manifested? Obviously, income through that. I've manifested being on this podcast, which I never even told Sam. I've known her for about a year now, but I was too embarrassed to
I
like
love it.
admit this. I've manifested a lot of aligned people into my life as well, and like conversations about manifestation that, a lot of people think are taboo or woo woo,
Yes.
and I've manifested a lot of people who come and talk to me about that or like ask me about that. Yeah, that's
I
what I can think at the top of my head. But I've also manifested my sister getting fired
Yes,
from a
yes.
job that she hated.
Yeah, people always ask, can you manifest for someone else? Yes, yes. And you were so happy because she hated that job. And so you wanted her out of it.
Yeah. Oh, I've manifested a trip to Bali, technically. Do you
Yes,
remember that?
yes,
I've manifested a trip to Bali. I've manifested a singing job where I got um flown out to sing
yes.
for that company. It's literally so much, you guys, that I now can't like remember everything. It's so magical.
I love it. And so my favorite manifestation that I wanted you to come on and talk about, and those are so many things, it's actually insane, is about manifesting your first paying job as a coach. Because I think the craziest thing about this story is that it came out of nowhere. And not only did you manifest one, but you manifested two. So tell us everything.
Yeah, so I was in the membership and I was doing the things. I was using all the gorgeous tools that Sam has in the membership for us, like the meditations, The affirmations, the EFT tapping were some of my favorites. And I was really like going all in my mindset and in myself on deciding that that is what's happening for me, that like I'm available for the best things in my life, both as a coach, as a performer, as a human, that mindset of I can really have it all and I get to choose every day. And, it didn't always feel like that's possible, but I was more committed to the bigger vision than the temporary, like, iffy feelings of being like, this feels blah. So I would say, like, go through the resistance and do it anyway because it's gonna lead you somewhere. Um, but anyway, long story short, I'm just literally scrolling on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, not even my business one. And because obviously I follow a lot of performers there, one of my performer friends posts on their story saying, "Do I know of a mindset coach for performers that can deliver some workshops?" Like, hi, I am. Are you calling my name? That is me.
Yes.
So I replied to that story. They never get back to me, but there's also an email address on that story. So I'm not letting that stop me not getting a response. And I'm just
Yes.
like, let me just like send an email as well. Do that, literally forget about it, even though it felt really aligned and exciting. I forget about it. Then 5 weeks later, it wasn't even like a quick turnaround. It was 5 weeks later, I get an email saying, oh my gosh, this was in my spam all of this time. I never
Insane.
saw this. Um, could you actually come and do these workshops for these drama schools, which literally I couldn't have dreamed of, because when I was in drama school, I wish there was someone like me with
Yeah.
my experience and my expertise to guide me through mental health as a performer and how to not only survive the performing arts industry but thrive in it. um
Yes.
so yeah, and then as soon as I booked that, I got another invite from like one of the biggest casting like websites in the UK, to do an online like webinar with them, which I literally like couldn't even see coming. And that both happened within the same week. And I've been
From different
trying,
places.
yeah, like from different places, and I've been technically working on this for a year, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's like happened twice within a week, which is insane, but it's just how this works.
1,000%. And I think the craziest part is that I love this discussion, but you were doing the strategy for a while, but it wasn't till you really, this didn't come from strategy. This didn't come from posting on your Instagram. It came from your personal Instagram that it just popped up. And so I'd love to hear like your kind of thoughts about, people are always trying to push and do the strategy, strategy, strategy. But I found, especially in your business, when you pull back and do the inner work, that's when everything comes into fruition.
Yeah, that's a huge one, because first of all, you're not broken for wanting to do this strategy, because
Yes.
that's how we're conditioned. So, like, I've been there, done that. And like, I believe that every single human, like, ambitious as fuck, right? On these, listening to this podcast, of course, we want to double down on the strategy, and like, we're go getters, right? Like, we've
Yes.
got big freaking goals and dreams. So, of course, we want to do that. And I did that for about a year. And I went to some being like, I just need to fix my strategy. I need to do this, that, and the other. And yes, of course, it's important, but it's not what's gonna get you there, because if the action you're taking is not aligned with you, if you're forcing, if you're grinding, if the content that you are posting consistently doesn't resonate with you, if your heart is not in it, if the time in which you were making it, you were grumpy and out of alignment,
Yes.
it's not gonna convert. And like, I do not believe that I'm saying that, because I was that person who would roll my eyes to everyone who tried to tell me that. I would be like, I am working so hard on this strategy. No one gets to tell me that it's not going to work if my energy is not aligned. Like, just like,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
completely honest. Like, these people didn't even know of my business, they didn't even know I existed. They literally just trusted me when they saw
Wow.
my strategy. Do you know what I mean? But they
Yes.
weren't aware of me. It was just this drama school that, you know, had a look at my business when I sent that link in the email, you know?
Yes. And that's the coolest part of like strategy is so important. And we're all action takers, you're right, who listen to this podcast and who follow both of us. And so we're never not going to take the action. But when you're taking the action from a place of lack, and I need to do this, and so many people just skip over, it doesn't even have to be a morning routine. It could be a night routine. It could be any point in the day routine, but they just skip that inner work because they really don't believe that that's going to be the shift. And when you really centered on that, that's when it all came up. And you didn't even have to know the how, which was my favorite part about that. It like this magical job appeared and then another one appeared. And like you said, they trusted you. And it's because you did the strategy before, but it's because you also brought this into your reality.
Yeah, like when I did apply for both of those things, like,
Yes.
which was so aligned, it was in a phase of my life where I was really in my energetics, and I was really like full on, like, this is all happening for me. Life is working out for me. And I didn't just say that because it sounded cute. I fully
Yes.
like, I fully embodied that, which is easier said than done. So,
Yes.
the first time I started saying to myself, life is happening for me, not to me. No, I didn't embody that. Of
Yes.
course I didn't. Like, if anyone tells you that they do the first time they do that, they are lying to you. Like,
1,000%.
they are lying to you. But even the opportunities just unfolded in front of me when I was really grounded in who I was and who I decided to be in this world and what I was a magnet for.
Oh my God. And I just love that because the honesty, that's what everyone needs to hear. Cause I always say this. Like I thought when I first heard about this, I was like, this is woo-woo, this is BS. You're gonna change your thoughts and you're gonna change your life. And then when you actually sit down, you're gonna say, wait, I'm gonna listen to everyone who, all the celebrities who talk about manifestation. I'm gonna listen to all the people who are the 1% who, or the Olympians like Michael Phelps or Simone Biles. And you're like, wait, they're all manifesting, they're all onto something. Why am I not doing that? And then when you finally just be like, I'm going to try this, and that's really what I want for anyone. I never want to be convincing or pushy. It wants to be try this for your own self because I know it's going to change your life. And that's exactly what you did. And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. And honestly, again, I'm not saying that because it sounds cute, but the amount of times, you guys, that I I literally just DM Sam on Instagram and I'm like, I don't care how many times I say this. I will say it for the 100 more, like the next 100 years. I'm so grateful for you. And I am, because, she's just amazing. Go do the membership. She didn't even tell me to say that. I know how it works. And yeah, like, if someone is like listening to this right now and they're like, okay, this all sounds really cute, but how? Like, how do
Yes.
I do this? I encourage you to like just start paying attention to the thoughts in your day-to-day life and ask yourself, is this thought serving me?
Oh,
Because if all these thoughts that you've been thinking for however many years you've been alive,
yep.
if they've not been serving you, then you might as well get curious as to what thoughts might serve me, and what thoughts are those people who are where I want to be, possibly thinking. And if you study them, which is coming back to what Sam said, because if you study all of those people, they all talk about some form of manifestation,
Yes.
visualization, changing your thoughts, changing your mind in order to change your life. And that's exactly like what's put me here is being curious about, okay, this way that I've tried for so many years hasn't exactly worked, hasn't exactly felt amazing and magical. I might as well open my mind to the possibility of trying something different. And like if you approach it from this kind of detached, like open-minded, relaxed state, I think it can really serve you.
I like mic drop. I'm gonna re-listen to that over and over again. That was so good. I'm obsessed with that 1,000%. And what they say, like insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And that's how I feel of like so many business owners just push the strategy, 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 strategy. And like we said, strategy is needed. But there's some point when you look and you're like, why is Becky taking off and we're using the same strategy? What is she doing different? And it's literally, the energy that she's putting behind that. I'm obsessed. So back to your manifestation, I think the coolest thing is that they literally were like, we're paying, this was your first job. And they're like, we're going to pay for your travel. We're paying you. It was in person and it was 2 days. And then you also got the other workshop. I know this, but did you have limiting beliefs before you manifested this?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah,
What were they?
yeah, like I'm 25 and someone in the past asked me like, "Oh, like you're so young and you're a life coach. Who do you think is like gonna trust you?" And
Same.
that again, which is so sneaky how these things stick. That stayed with me for quite a few months. And even though I didn't even think it's valid, but it stayed with me as a limiting belief. So I had that. I had them like, oh, like I've only been qualified for what, like a year or so, which is like, you don't even need to be qualified to be a
Yes.
coach. But me being me, I wanted to, know that I'm providing that value from a place of, scientific evidence behind it. What else? What else was it? I don't even remember them now. That's
Yes.
how gone they are.
That's so crazy. One of them was like at points where like my niche is really, specific. And that was
Yeah.
the craziest part about them being like, I'm looking for a mindset coach for performers. That's your exact niche.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's a huge one was with like financial ability as well, because like, there's the whole limiting belief in the entire industry that artists, the starving artist, the struggling artist, and even though I do not embody that and I'm, a facilitator of changing that within the industry, which is what I do with my clients,
Yes.
I let that be like, oh, but if artists are really starving and are really struggling, how are they gonna pay me? Like, and why are they gonna spend their money on me? Which is absolute crap.
Yes.
Like,
And
non-valid.
it's just crazy because you literally created your own dream job out of nowhere. And the fact that this was your first paying job and they were paying for your expenses, they were paying for the workshops, it was in person, it was 2 days. Like, I have never heard of that as someone's first. Like, if that was me and this was my first gig as a coach, I think I would faint. Like, I would literally faint. It's
I
amazing.
went there and I was like, when you have like 2 minutes to breathe,
Yes.
and I was like, oh my gosh, how is this happening? Like, oh my gosh. And literally, I spoke to like God and the universe, and I was like, I love you. Like, you're so generous with me, Like,
Yes.
of course, like, I've worked hard for it, but it's just that moment of like, pinch me. And it's so like, I believe that everyone in the world deserves to experience that.
Yeah.
It's just almost giving ourselves the permission slip to do that and like accepting and owning the fact that we deserve to feel good in a world where the normal is not to feel good.
Conditioned to
You
feel
know?
bad. Yes.
Yeah, because you're kind of like making the decision to not fit in,
That's
but
what I've
then
always said. Yes.
you fit in to with the people that of course are on that level, and they're going to hold you on that level rather than drag you down to the conditioned not feeling good kind of side of the world.
100%. And I always say that it is not like societally, normal to feel happy. We've grown up in a time, and that's why I think there's so many conditions of people who say, even for example, we know that my dad was like, there's no way that you'll be able to build this business, right? But we've been heard that misery loves company. And so when you become happy, you're kind of out of the tribe of like, wait, like how are you doing this? How are you so magical that you're making all your dreams come true and you're happy? And it's not, accepted to be happy. It's more accepted to be, miserable.
Absolutely. And that breaks my heart, if I'm honest. Like
Same.
that really, it really does because I don't know. It's just sad. It's really
Yes.
sad. But the great thing is that you get to choose different
1,000%. And the
every
great,
single
yes,
day. Like the moment you wake up, you have that choice.
yes,
And that sounds too good to be true. That's where the majority of people get it wrong because it sounds like, oh, but the default of this world is to, to hate your job and to just have enough money or, struggle to pay your bills and, to have to struggle in order to achieve that dream because everyone has to work hard and like hard work is different to struggle. Like those two things
yes,
should not be perceived as synonyms. Like they're just not, no matter whether you're a performer, a business owner, just a human being, like wanting to be a mom,
yeah,
equally as important life goals. It doesn't have to be forced and hard, and you don't have to, hate your way through it.
yes. 1,000%. And that's exactly what you showed us of like when you take that step back and you just really infuse that energy, it's actually like, oh my God, this was way easier than I could have imagined. And that's when you start like harnessing your power. But I do believe the hard part is one, I always ask everyone this. Did you 100% believe in your manifestation, or do you not have to believe in it 100% for it to come true?
I don't believe you have to believe in it 100%. Like, clearly, I can guarantee that. And I would say because my manifestation was not like that specific,
Yes.
I fully believed in it. Like, I had the knowing in my heart, and I chose to trust that every day. Yes, of course, there were doubts creeping in. Um, but yeah, part of me fully believed it because I felt that energy of like I was born to do this in this world and to change people's lives.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed with that. And did you ever get discouraged?
Oh, yeah. How much time do you have?
Yes, yes. And
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's so normal. Like it's so normal. The highlight reels on Instagram that tell you that, people just wake up and they choose to feel amazing every day and they never get discouraged. They're lies. They're just highlight reels. The amount of times I joined the DBA call and I
yes,
was like, Sam, why do I feel like this? Am I blocking everything? I'm carrying this stuck energy and I'm feeling like nothing is paying off. And like, I'm impatient as well. I am
yeah.
like, that is something that I'm working on. Like,
That's a good thing though.
um, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to feel this way. Like, why? Why does it feel so hard? And you were like, oh, because you're out of alignment. Like, that
Duh.
is why. Duh. But yeah, it's so normal to feel discouraged and to, you know, life is not a straight line.
Yes.
Your heartbeat is not a straight line. It's what keeps you alive. It's like
Yes.
going up and down, right? That's the whole point. And we just it's so easy to miss the plot. Please don't
Thousand
do that.
percent. And people just think they need to be perfect to manifest. And that's why I love having, my clients on and all of you with your success stories because it's never, I 100% fully believed in this. I never had bad days. I never had doubts. It's like, no, we had all of those, yet we just made sure that the, positive was outweighing the negative, even by like 1%. And that's why it came
Hmm.
in.
Yeah, absolutely. And like with that, because I know myself included, there are a lot of like skeptics who will listen to this and think, yeah, but and in terms of like perfection and being perfect, I literally challenge you to think right now of people like Oprah, of people like, for me, like Mel Robbins, Jamie Kern Lima, Jeff Bezos, right? All of these people who we now consider to be perfect,
Yes.
none of them had a perfect journey. None of them had it all figured out. None of them definitely didn't wake up feeling amazing and empowered every single day. All of these people that we're all like universally looking up to, they've gone some really, really hard stuff and
Yeah.
really profound hardships in their life that were far from perfect. So I think perfect is a myth. I think it
Yes.
literally doesn't exist. And if you think being perfect is never feeling disempowered, that's just being a robot without feelings. You're a human being, like of course you're gonna have feelings. And that's powerful, that's beautiful. That shows how much you care about your dream and about your manifestation. Like, of course, like you should almost celebrate feeling disempowered and like discouraged because it just shows how much you care. So acknowledge that and just jump back right on track.
Yes. And I always say that just don't make it mean something about something else. So don't mean the fact that you're feeling discouraged mean you can't have your manifestation. Instead, be like, you know what, I can feel discouraged and that means my manifestation is coming.
Yeah.
Yes. And that sets us up perfectly for did you feel your manifestation? So you know how a lot of people say you need to like feel it in order to bring it into fruition. No answer is wrong. I just love to, get people's different opinions so that they can know how to bring in their own manifestations.
Do you mean by that, like when manifesting, when visualizing, if I could really feel it in my heart?
Yes.
Um, 9 times out of 10, I
Love
could,
it.
but some days I couldn't. And that really frustrated me. It really did, but I don't think it matters that much.
Agreed. I love that. I think it's good to feel the feelings, but at the same time, repetition over and over again is going to rewire it either way. So I do my kind of theory on this from manifesting for 10 years. I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I really feel that feeling it makes it happen a little faster. But if you don't feel it, you're still going to manifest it with that repetition of the subconscious. I
Mm-hmm.
love
And
that.
if you can't feel it, a tip that works for me is to try and remember of a time when you felt it. Because
Yes.
our body is really smart, and there's this thing called muscle memory that brings up that memory and like kind of makes it happen again in your body. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's magic. Like,
Yes, no, you're completely right. I love that tip. I was actually just reading something about that yesterday, which is insane. Okay, I love that. Did you see changes in your reality before your manifestation came in? Did you feel better? Did you see anything changing? And it's okay if nothing happened too.
hmm, I think I've been feeling that something big is coming for a couple of months because, well, something that I haven't mentioned is that I used to feel really misaligned with everything, both career and business wise, to the point where like I decided to quit every job that was not fulfilling my soul,
Yeah.
quit that fear response of doing life in a way that I didn't fully enjoy. And I went all in into my business and my singing career. And that's when everything changed, which I also feel like matters. Of course, you don't have to quit your job or anything. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
do whatever feels right for you. If something feels iffy and stuck and like wrong, then it's not your path. Your path is gonna feel aligned and it's gonna feel hopeful. Um, so yeah, that was the profound change in my reality, the one that I kind of initiated. But other than that, it was just the fact that like, well, I was much happier not doing things that made me miserable, which I feel like kept me more like consistent with my
Yeah.
practices because I was more happy in my daily life. So I
A
wanted to
thousand.
make myself feel good.
I love that so much because you never have to do things that you don't want to do. And when you take those things out, then you're going to consistently do the things that you want to do. Okay, love it. How long after joining the membership did it take to see results?
When did the membership start?
It started in July.
In July. So this happened in October, like 3 months.
Yeah, which is crazy. And the,
So literally 90 days.
yes, yes.
Guys, when she says 90 days, she means it.
And you doubled your sales because this was your first gig. So you had your first gig and then had another gig. So you literally went from 0 to 1 to double the sales.
Yeah,
Insane.
honestly,
Obs-
insane.
I love it. And then do you have a specific technique that you loved using?
My absolute favorite is EFT tapping. Like I just love it so much. But I'm really creative, so I don't have a rigid routine. Like
Yeah.
I get bored so easily. Like honestly, I feel like there's so much out there being like, oh, you have to have this morning routine and like repeat these every single day. I can't do that. Like I
Yes.
can, it doesn't work for me. It gets me just not wanting to do it, and that's obviously not the place from which you can manifest. Like it's just not gonna work. So I just take it like as to how do I feel, like what feels exciting today. Sometimes it's a guided meditation, which by the way I could not meditate like 2 years ago.
Wow.
I couldn't sit there. I'm such a fidgeter. So I just couldn't do it. But I started with like 5 minutes and I
Yes,
really
yes.
wanted to do it, or like walking meditations. So, you know, sometimes I do that, EFT tapping, listening to affirmations, literally like you don't even have to actively
Yes.
say them or anything. Like sometimes I just make breakfast and like have them playing or like in the shower. And now I love the self riffs that you've
Yes.
made last week. Like on my walk, when I'm getting ready, I just have Sam in my ears saying that, like, every action I take is the right action and, gets you into that empowered, heightened state from
I
which you
love
can
it.
take action then.
That makes me so happy because that's exactly why I made it because I have such severe ADHD that I needed to, make a membership where you can just go in and pick out your technique like a candy store and what you wanted to do that day and made you feel good. And it was easy. There's sometimes when you want to actually do it, or if you just want to make breakfast and listen to it too, that's perfect. I love it. And were you consistent with it or was it messy action?
I did something every day,
Love it.
whether it was from the membership or not, or whether it
Yes.
sometimes was literally like driving and saying like out loud, oh, universe, like show me how good it gets. So I feel like I was doing something every day, but it was never like rigid.
Love it. I love it. And then lastly, okay, let's see what else we have. I love all these answers. I'm like obsessed with because it really shows the reality to manifestation and it makes it show the realness and that it gets to be easy and it doesn't have to be this whole, crazy thing. How did you balance? I love this one, taking inspired action versus waiting for things to happen, because you actually just told me an amazing story about your piece of content before we started recording.
Yeah. So that's taking us kind of back to the thing where Sam said it's not all about the strategy, and we tend to, fixate on that intensely. But yeah, the balance was for me, as I said, I'm really creative. Obviously, I'm a coach for performers, so obviously my creativity is like all over the world, you know. Um, but yeah, having a very, again, rigid, like I have to do this and stick to this, has me feeling really stuck and like uninspired. So the balance for me came through asking myself, what does, like, what does my higher self feel like doing? What would the version of myself who already has that be doing today? What feels right? Literally, what feels exciting for me to do right now for my business, for my strategy? And a couple of days ago, nothing did. I was literally like, I don't know what to talk about. I have no idea. I committed to showing up every day. So, of course, I want to show up for my audience and my people. Um, and I was like, okay, hold on a sec. And I literally had to pull Sam back to my mind. And I was like, having been on her containers for like about a year, what would she tell me? And I was like, she'd always used to say that we can repurpose content that did really well. So I was like, oh, hold on a sec. I remember this piece of content that I loved and like it did so well and it touched people's hearts. So that instantly, as soon as I thought about that, I was like, yeah, of course, I can repost that. Which again, no guilt or shame if you ever want to do that. Like, it's such a powerful, energetic strategy. And yeah, I did that. And literally, someone in my niche from New York who's got like a lot more followers than me reposted that on their story. Why? Because it came from my heart and it came out of inspired action. And that didn't come through to me when I sat in front of my laptop and I opened up Canvas and I was like, okay, I have to make content. What can I talk about? Nothing happened. I just wasted an hour of my life. And then when I asked myself the questions that I shared, that's when the action came through. And that's when, it paid off.
Wow, I'm obsessed with that. It's working smarter, not harder, and that gets the best freaking results. Okay, I only have two more questions for you. What was the most common misconception you had about manifestation that you had to overcome?
The most common misconception. I don't know. I think I always believed in it. Like, I was really inspired by it. I just thought I didn't know much about it. Yeah. I don't think there was much resistance. Maybe that it was like too woo-woo.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Perfect answer. And lastly, what advice or tip would you give to someone wanting to manifest their dreams?
Oh, I love this question so much. Um, I'd say literally think about your 5 and 85-year-old self
Yeah.
and ask them, what would they want you to do? And like, we tend to get so caught up in our current reality and in our current obstacles, which are so valid. But at the same time, I want you to think of like looking back at your life, like from your deathbed with that 5-year-old, like, standing on the side. Would they ever want you to settle for a life that didn't set your soul on fire? Would they ever want you to look back in regret, to not feel incredibly proud of yourself, to not celebrate making the most out of this life, of this gift that you've been blessed with. Like, that's my number one tip.
I am obsessed with you. Please tell everyone where they can follow you if you have any services that you want to plug, everything, because everyone needs to follow you. You are such a light in my life and you are absolutely taking off right now. It's incredible. People are going to wish that they followed you now because you're going to be a name that they're going to know.
Honestly, I'm tearing. That's another thing me and Sam have in common. Literally, the amount of times we both cried in a
Yes.
session was like insane. But yeah, you can find me at wholeheartedly Maria on Instagram, and I offer one-to-one coaching either on a package of like consistent changing your entire life and your performing career, or one-off one-on-one sessions. And now I'm apparently a drama school workshop facilitator as well. So if you wish to empower performers through my work, I'd be more than happy.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for coming on and inspiring everyone and telling us your story. I'm just so proud of you, and I just can't wait to keep watching you succeed.
Thank you for having me. I couldn't be more grateful.
Of course. Mwah. Bye, guys.